In February 2023, Lisa confirmed that she was dating Gilden, telling Entertainment Tonight at the time that he has empathy, he cares. She added that Gilden wants to motivate me to do better, be my best. So it's a lot of things that I'm not used to dealing with or used to having from my previous relationship. Basically, what I will say is with this Lisa and Lenny marriage relationship, Lisa was with him out of survival. Lenny wanted something young and pretty. That's what was going on, and there was a lot of control because Lisa didn't have the money, and he controlled everything. Let's see. The relationship was later called into question by Lisa's Miami castmates during season 7, which began airing June 2025. In the premiere episode, Larson Pippen told the other women that she sat Lisa down and expressed concerns about Gilden. "I love you and I want to make amends with you." Lisa says she told Lisa, "He's using you. He's not good for you." She further claimed that Lisa replied, I love him, before Pippen said, "He's controlling." Speculation that the pair broke up came in January 2026 when Lisa shared a video documenting her move after what she called a hectic last few months and liked comments about new beginnings. So, since then, Lisa was online and she made this statement that I was like, why? She was just saying, and I'm just paraphrasing, it was just, this is normal, this always happens. Your ex-boyfriend was put in jail, bam. That's not normal. And y'all trying to, so we find out that there's an arrest warrant for Ms. Lisa. And she's sitting up here on Twitter. And we're like, what is going on here? Anyways, since then, Lisa Holstein has turned herself in for criminal charges. Now, shout out to page 6. This is where this article is going to be coming from. Lisa Holstein was in an upbeat mood as she turned herself in after getting hit with criminal charges for allegedly spying on her ex-husband, Dr. Lenny Holstein. In page 6, exclusive photos, the Real Housewife of Miami star was seen smiling as she arrived at Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in Miami late Wednesday morning for her booking, just earlier today. Lisa, who was accompanied by her attorney, Jane Weintraub, was dressed in a brown long-sleeve top with blue jeans and brown platform booties. She accessorized with oversized sunglasses and wore a long blonde hair, loose waves. The Bravo celebrity, 43, and her lawyer appeared to be in good spirits as they entered the building together. Lisa posed for a mugshot and her bail was set at $5,000. According to jail records obtained by page 6, Lisa is voluntarily surrendering, and she is being released on her own, recognized, Weintraub told us in a statement. This is her lawyer. Meanwhile, Lisa added in her own statement, "I don't want to let anyone distract me from my big divorce case this month," which I thought they were already divorced. I'm lost. "I'm focused on the well-being of my children who have been through enough." They have been through enough. The mother of 2 made sure to note, "I've heard nobody has been charged with eavesdropping in Miami history." Well, it is still against the law. You can't record nobody without the other person knowing that you are recording them in the state of Florida. Lisa and her ex-boyfriend, Jody, are facing 1 count each of interception of wire, oral, or electronic communications. Gilden, 52, was arrested and taken into custody on Saturday, but was released shortly after. The former couple is accused of unlawfully and intentionally trying to have someone intercept oral statements by Leonard Hutchinson, and those Leonard Hutchinson spoke with between March 12th and March 31st, 2023. We already talked about her being filed for divorce. So this is what Lisa said in what I was talking about, what I saw on the internet. "This matter is part of a contentious divorce proceedings and does not belong in criminal. Does not belong in criminal court." Weintraub. But I mean, I'm just going by what I'm seeing. She did commit something criminal. Now, however, the lawyer's going to be able to be on her side, cool. But she did do something criminal, possible, allegedly. Um, Weintraub, Howard, Snare, Nick, oh my lord, and Frank Gavira, who are Gilden's attorneys. Lisa then took to Instagram to repost a breakdown of strategic timing of smear campaigns. I mean, Lisa, did you do it, though? You have not denied it as of yet in this article. The bulleted list read, he doesn't release damaging information randomly. He times it for maximum destruction before a court date, a career milestone, a custody hearing. But did you do it? The graphic concluded that the goal is to cause the most damage at the most vulnerable moment. But did you do it? Amid their divorce, Lenny 59 dated, oh, we don't want to talk about them no more. In court documents, Lenny, he claimed she placed at least one device to access and monitor his private, non-public communications involving this litigation, which compromised the integrity of their divorce proceedings. Oof. Lisa denied Lenny's nonsense allegation and accused him and Mespla, whatever her last name is, of telling lies. There is no truth to that. It seems as if they are trying to distract everyone with their lies, her rep told us at the time, okay? So she denied it. The court has already sided with Lisa on many of these issues, including the lies that are being presented by the woman who broke up their home and family. After 2.5 years, the Hutchisons finalized their divorce in November 2024. Per their settlement agreement, Lenny was, we already talked about that. In ordinance of the, as for Lisa and Glenn Gilden, she seemingly confirmed their split in February with the cryptic Instagram post. Okay, so that's that on that. Lenny has been taking Lisa through a lot. I'll give it all that. And at least she has at least said that she did not do what Lenny is accusing her for. We've got to see if that's enough. We got to see if that is enough. I don't know. To be arrested, both of them be arrested like they did, is interesting. But for her to try to say that, oh, nobody really gets arrested for eavesdropping. It's still criminal. That's it. But anyways, what do y'all think about this? It's a lot that Lenny has taken her through when he's the one that initiated the whole divorce and all of that. What are we gonna do next? Let's just talk about something more light. Let's talk about Shamia. So with Shamia, she was on a podcast, with a content creator, an interviewer, Gabbing with Gib. Shout out to him. And he talks, we get a little snippet of Gib. Miss Shamia, who is currently on this season of The Real Housewives of... Miss Shamia Morton, I forgot your last name, I do apologize. From The Real Housewives of Atlanta on its current season. She did an interview with Gabbing with Gib. Shout out to him. She was asked, as what has already been said between Angela and Phaedra, I think on Entertainment Tonight, about Shamia being the villain. And she talks about that. Let's get into it.
Yeah, you made some headlines when you said that you're in your villain era this season. And so I guess one of my first questions when it comes to that is, if you're the villain, who's on the other side of that? Is it one person? Is it multiple people?
I don't know. You have to see.
Okay.
You have to tune in Sunday.
How would you define your villain era? Like, how does that manifest itself?
You know what? And some people call it a villain, but honestly, I just feel like I am speaking up for things that bother me, things that I agree with, things that I don't agree with. I'm not letting people walk over me, talk over me, and talk down about me. So I'm attacking it all head on, and I'm going straight to the source.
It's a good way to be on Housewives, Shamia. So that's good.
Yeah. And I ruffle a lot of feathers now.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, so she just says that she's living in her truth, speaking up against things that bother her, rather than being passive. And you've been quite passive. So we're gonna see exactly what this yields. In that interview, she's talking about being the villain, not really calling herself the villain, but stating what she had to do during the season. Now, on her own YouTube video, she's singing a different tune. Listen to this.
How you been feeling about the season? Though you feel good about the season?
Yeah. They definitely be trying you.
Yeah, no.
And I just was bothered because I'm like, they try to make me seem like I'm being a bitch, and I'm like, what?
Girl, it's not even that serious.
Girl, but that's how they doing me this season, girl. It's like that. It's that serious this season. Like they coming for me, everybody.
Pay them no mind. Stay solid with everything that you're doing. Stand 10 toes down and pay them no mind. Because everybody's fighting for a check. And everybody know, out of everybody, you don't really need to be on the show. Well...
Shamia, look, I don't really see it for you because I just think that you're whack. However, I'm willing to walk through the season and be fair. I want to see what actually happens, and then I'll make my final decision. But I do remember you crying wolf in regards to what you said Britt Edie said about your child, which was a lie. You can't act all tough in one interview and then when you get amongst your people now, oh, people just think I'm being an itch. Be an itch. That's what this show is about. If you're going to be the villain, be the villain. But don't cry later after being a villain. It's really hard to stay in that position. It's really hard to actually stand in that position, but if you're going to do it, do it. Some people said that you need to go if you're up here crying now. I'm interested to see what exactly you give. And again, I'm going to be fair. I'm probably not going to be on your side because you don't have the advantage with me. Now with others, they think you're cool. Others also think that we're hating on you because of Portia. Well, I'm not a Portia stan. I can't stand her whatsoever. So don't put me there. I just see how you actually walk. You allow Portia to punk you out. She sunned you. Ma'am, she sunned you. And you really wanted things to work out. But don't y'all think it's kind of interesting that Portia can fight and make up, fight and make up, fight and make up, fight and make up, pick up, with Mimi, who is her sister? But she's good on Shamia, whom she's known the longest, who's been besties. Y'all don't find that weird? You want to have some resolve, but she's not going to give it to you. So anyways, so what do y'all think? Should Shamia just stand in her villain era? Should Shamia just go? Y'all let me know. Now on to what's been going on, been really viral. Drew Sidora and Ralph Pittman. Of course, we found out that Drew's going to have to move out of the house. And he's going to be sharing primary custody. And she's only going to really have custody during the summer and alternating weekends. I said, wow. But anyways, further things were going on. She did go online. It was released, I think, through the Jasmine brand. Shout out to them. That it was in court documents where she was pleading with the judge, like, look, I'm going to be homeless and need a lot more time because of her funds she does not have. And of course, a lot of people have their eyebrows like, you're in your 5th year on Roa and you don't have the funds? All right, so let's get into this article right quick. The Real Housewives stars Drew Sidora and Ralph Pittman, jaw-dropping income gap exposed in messy divorce. This is brought to you by Page 6. Drew Sidora and Ralph Pittman's hefty income gap has been revealed in their contentious divorce proceedings. I'm sure a courtesy of Ralph. The Real Housewives Atlanta star 40 brings in an average of $12,066 per month. Now that would be good for me, just to let y'all know. According to the court documents obtained by TMZ on Tuesday. As for her estranged husband, the 43-year-old earns $24,000 monthly. And I said, wow. Was there anything else in this article? Hold on. I'm like, that gotta be. Yep, there is. Sorry. So Sidora, for her part, is an actress with her most... Sorry. Lord. So, of course, Pittman, notably, he works in tech. Gardner. Sidora, for her part, is an actress with her most iconic projects over the years, ranging from That's So Raven to White Chicks. The former couple tied the knot in August of 2014, going on to welcome 2 children, son Makai and daughter Anaya, 8. Pittman and Sidora, who also is the mother of son Josiah, 11, from a previous romance, both filed from divorce in March 2023. The Bravo celebrity subsequently told the People filming Roa was their failed union's boiling point, as it led to embarrassment on top of what they were dealing with behind closed doors. Last week, news broke that Sidora temporarily lost custody of their little ones and has been ordered to vacate their marital home. However, the step-up star is begging the judge to reconsider ahead of her May 31st relocation deadline. So what has happened as to even how there's this temporary custody for Ralph, being the parent, because what has been said in these court documents is that Drew, under her care, the children have not been making it to school. There's been a lot of absences. We don't know the range as far as that. However, the judge ended up granting at least temporary primary custody to Ralph. So Sidora claimed not to have the financial resources for the move, which would result in her and Josiah being homeless. She also alleged Pittman agreed to share joint physical custody outside of court, but requested primary in front of the judge. Of course. He's evil like that. Her lawyer told the outlet this matter is still being actively litigated and is in the middle of the final trial. The second temporary order is, in fact, temporary and does not reflect the final outcome of the case. The reality star acknowledged via Twitter over the weekend that some details regarding her divorce have recently become public. She tweeted, "Ralph and I are committed to co-parenting and doing what's best for our children. While certain things are beyond my control, my focus remains on showing up every day as the best mother I can be." Mentioning the challenges that come with life in the public eye, Sidora concluded, "My children are my priority, and I'm committed to leading with love, peace, and positivity." Now, of course, people are like, well, okay, Ralph was in the basement. And even if the children were missing school, how come you weren't? Now, there were certain days that Ralph could come upstairs to be with the children. I just don't understand what happened. Was it times where Drew was gone, maybe for a movie role? But still doesn't make sense that the children weren't making it to school on time or being absent from school, you know? So to me, it's still quite a mystery. Now, of course, people are like, well, you're in your 5th season of Roa. The check should be rolling in. There's no way that you could just be making $12K. I understand that, and I agree with that. And I think we still have the idea that the checks are checking over there at Bravo for this show. Let's go down the timeline on what's been happening with Roa. Let me take you back to season 3. Now, I thought it was Cynthia, but it could have been Candy. It was either Cynthia or Candy, or possibly even Nene. One of those 3 people, and I swear upon everything that this was said. But in season 3, they had to get their own lawyer. I think it was Nene, because of unfair paid wages. What's hard about these reality stars is that they are independent contractors, meaning they can pay you whatever. Now, of course, you do sign contracts, but you are still at will. Depending on Georgia law, they can raise or lower your wage as they see fit. Now, you may have some type of leeway if a contract has been signed to that, you know? Okay, so we know that Bravo gives out good checks. But also, before I go into Bravo gives out good checks, season 5, Kenya, when she did her interview with Carlos King, she said that the cast was on strike when she came. She was filming and was just about to give up on them because they hadn't really told her if she was going to get a peach or not. But during that time frame, they did strike. They striked a lot for Kim at that time because of her absence all the time for different things. And I think for pay again, I think. But yeah, if there was these strikes and having to do all this stuff to just to get a fair pay wage, you don't think that that stuff is going on now? Gone are the days of the heydays of Roa. Season 6, the next season after season 5, was their top rated season of any of the franchises that are out there. Season 6. I believe that they did get some pay bumps. Season 10 is actually when the decline starts declining with ratings. And if you just think that all these folks are just making all this money, I don't know what to tell you. Now, I think that there are some set rates because of different folks' celebrity status. Drew came in during COVID season. Nene just left the show. She decided not to sign her contract. And the show, it gets quite expensive as time goes on. We have no clue what she started out as. And it's already been said that you don't get much when you first sign on, but as you do continue, the pay gets larger. Also, something else that was said on the Humble Brag, Humble Bag or Humble Brag, either or, with, is her name, is it Crystal Minkoff and Cynthia Bailey. They host a podcast weekly. Crystal is from Beverly Hills. Anyways, what was discussed between the both of them as far as the finances and how they are actually paid. They get a certain lump sum, I think at the beginning of the season when it first airs. And then throughout the course of the season, you get little droplets here and there. But there's a good large amount of whatever the set agreed amount that you're supposed to be paid. Of course, now the season just started, so possibly Drew is getting something. But you're not like getting paid every 2 weeks or every week, you know? If you factor in, if you remember Drew, she came in with this entourage. Who knows what she's got to pay? So you're paying all this stuff just to have a certain brand on the show. You got to pay for your own events. There's only some things that production does pay for, which a lot of it is just basically for the vacations that they go on. A domestic and then international flight. But for the most part, these events, you got to pay for yourself. Hair, makeup, a stylist, a driver possibly to go drive here and there to look the part, you know? And then after tax, what is the actual take home? I think we got to all consider that. Even Portia, who is now the face of this season and show. I don't even want to say that, but yeah. But anyways, but it's true. Portia's in Simon's house. Portia has no choice. She's going here, there, everywhere, jumping on this show, that show. If Bravo was enough to sustain, don't you think she wouldn't have to do all these other jobs as far as maintaining her mortgage? So no. Yeah, so do I think that people are actually homeless with the Bravo check? No. I think it's just kind of crazy that she has to be out in a month, in my opinion. But I just say consider that while we're thinking that, okay, Drew's got to be hiding some money somewhere. Drew last season has been caught up stating that she takes care of a lot. If you remember that when Ralph came up from the basement. But now if Ralph got all this ink, it's very confusing. And another point I want to bring out about Drew, Sidora, and Ralph, we hardly know anything about them. We only know about the circumstances. We really don't know. So it's like, I think at this point, as much as Drew has tried to hide, this season could be great for her to just let it all out. The good, bad, and the ugly. And she has the advantage. or go to an interview. She was already on Carlos King, but it's still a lot of things that she couldn't say because she was wrapped up in this divorce. She needs an outlet to actually say it. I don't know, get a YouTube channel and just let us know. But I'm sure Bravo's going to want to know a whole lot more, so I don't know how you're going to do it. I started liking you, Drew, because I have not liked you, because you haven't been giving your real. We just been getting, oh, Ralph, and that stuff got old. It was too routine and all of that good stuff. But I started liking you as of last season, but I do think that it's just time to be honest as to whatever that is. Ooh, I've been talking way too much, y'all. I'm gonna get on to this last story, which was a shocker to us all. Tina and Teddy Campbell. There has been a filing for divorce. As I said before, Tina wasn't the one to file. It was Teddy. Whew. Exclusively from TMZ, shout out to them. Gospel star Tina Campbell husband files for divorce. Tina Campbell, one half of gospel powerhouse duo Mary, is facing major shakeup at home because her husband has officially filed to end their marriage. Tina's husband, Glendon Campbell, filed for divorce in Los Angeles County on Monday, citing the standard irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split, according to legal docs obtained by TMZ. Glendon says the couple tied the knot back in August 2000 and separated June 2024. June? So they've been separated that long? Wow. Marking more than 2 decades of marriage before things fell apart. The docs say that they share 2 minor children together, and although Glendon didn't check any boxes about custody, he did ask the court to establish visitation and ask for any spousal support issues to be sorted out down the line. Glendon checked the boxes indicating that there are no separate or community property issues needing division, which could mean a smoother split, or that there's some sort of agreement or other negotiations behind the scenes. Tina rose to fame in the late 90s alongside her sister Erica Campbell, turning Mary into a gospel meets R&B juggernaut with crossover appeal. We reached out to Tina's reps for comment. So far, no word back. I find it shocking that he's the one that filed for divorce and citing irreconcilable differences. I'm sure he's doing that. Possible. I'm not sure. I'm just saying that it feels like it's irreconcilable differences because he probably don't want to say nothing about whatever has went on. I don't know what has happened, but it is what it is. But it's shocking because Tina stayed with this man, because I think that she filed the divorce before. After it was revealed, because they did have a reality show, that he had multiple affairs. And we're going to get into that. Teddy Campbell was unfaithful to his wife, gospel singer Tina Campbell, multiple times during their marriage. The infidelities revealed around 2013 to 2015 included a long-term affair with a close family friend and an employee who had access to their home. The couple subsequently worked through the scandal, renewing their vows and choosing to reconcile. One of the affairs was with a woman who used to work for the couple and was considered a godmother to their children. The public revelation, Tina revealed the infidelity in 2013 Ebony Magazine interview and later on the Steve Harvey show. Tina Campbell decided to stay in the marriage after intense emotional struggles and prayer and counseling. Now, what's been interesting is that both of them, after this happened, as far as he revealing all of these affairs and reconciling, they had this like marriage ministry. They even released an album together and all of that. But I had no clue that they had been separated since 2024. But I'm not really watching for that type of news anyways. But you kind of wonder what happened. Of course, we could say don't be nosy and all that, but I mean, their stuff became public to us. But it's like Tina did try to work on the marriage. And I'm going to say that he did too. But it's just like, she stayed and then now it's you. But it's always commendable when the woman stays, and it's her duty to work it out and to overlook. Now, I have this current short of Lala Anthony, who did try to stay after she found out that Cam Anthony was cheating. What's that his name? Carmelo Anthony was cheating. And she talks about the difficulties of it's harder to leave. It's harder to leave than to stay. Meaning, there's a lot of components on if you stay or not. But anyways, there's such a battle because people 2 years later are still commenting like she's at fault. She broke up the home. What do you mean? She tried, and he was still cheating after she tried. So why does she held to a different standard and needed to keep the family together and creating this broken home? No, the family broke when he decided to break his vows. Yeah, so this is a shock. I just know how it must feel to try again with someone who embarrassed her. And now he's the one that's filing for divorce. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That's the breaking news. I would love your comments and feedback on all of this. This is a lot that I've spoken about, and maybe I should have broke up these stories. I just didn't know how long it was going to be. But yeah, that's just messed up. Trifling. Irreconcilable differences. And I'm sure, as I said before, he's doing this so he doesn't really have to get into whatever really went on. But we shall see if she has anything that she wants to say in this whole thing later on, possibly. Shout out to TMZ, Page 6, Gavin with Gibb, No Chaser TV. I did not shout him out, but he is the one that did at least go to Shania's YouTube channel to get that clip. And who else? Shout out to people. I think that's it. I said Page 6, yeah. But shout out to you all. Thank you for sticking with me. It was a lot. I appreciate you for coming to my channel. Leave all comments that you have for each story in the comments below. And I'll be back with you with more later on. Like, comment, subscribe. And until the next one, peace.